Hi, mis amigos. Happy Thursday. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope your week has been going well. I'm coming to you from sunny Playa del Carmen, sunny and hot Playa del Carmen. Things have been amazing here. I just figured I would pop in and do another one of my webinars. I know for a while I took a break. As you guys may know, here in Playa del Carmen, we have our high season for tourism, which is in the winter months. And now we're kind of beginning our lower season of the year. So I actually finally have some room to breathe, ha ha ha, and catch up on my webinar. So I'm excited, my friends, to tell you today about a project I've been wanting to tell you about for a while. It is a sister project to probably one of the most successful real estate projects that was launched and delivered here in Playa del Carmen. And those of you who have been to Playa del Carmen, in particular to the Playacar neighborhood in Playa del Carmen, will know the project I'm referring to, and it's a project known as Our Residences. And once again, what we have here today is a sister project to this one, and it does have some differences in terms of the unit, not the unit style, but rather the unit type, and that's an important difference. So I'd like to go ahead and share my screen with you and tell you a bit more about this project, my friends. Let me see if I could just maybe share. It won't let me share without showing my face. So I guess you'll have to put up with my face, okay? My friends, this project is called Legacy by Awa, and it comes from a developer that already has a long track record of deliveries, including this spectacular Awa project that has been fully sold and delivered. I will link to a video tour of that existing project. I have a YouTube video on that, and it has about 4,000 views. It's a very popular, well, for my channel, it's a big deal, but it's a very popular project, and it's done really well. I like that they named this new project Legacy, and you'll see what I mean and what I think they have in mind when they name this project Legacy. But the whole idea is, well, living a legacy in terms of lifestyle. And again, I have something else in mind that I think the developer also had in mind when they decided to name this project Legacy. Legacy is something that is meaningful. I think many of us think about what legacy we want to leave behind in so many ways, whether what do we want to be remembered for, but perhaps also what we may want to leave behind for our loved ones. So I think that may have been something that the developer had in mind. And over here on the map, I hope you guys can see this, is a high-level view of the Playacar neighborhood in Playa del Carmen. My friends, Playacar, as I was mentioning in my last video, which was a Playa real estate market update, Playacar is an expansive neighborhood located in the south end of Playa del Carmen. It's a large gated community consisting of both residential, I meant to say standalone homes, as well as condo complexes, and it has a golf course running through the middle of it. It's got quite a few green areas, and those green areas, many of those green areas will continue to remain. As you can see, in terms of the location, this is the existing Awa project. It was a sizable project, and this is the Awa Legacy project, and I really like the location because it's perhaps among the most accessible locations within the Playacar neighborhood, because as you can see, in Playacar, we could be somewhere around here, we could be somewhere around here. Not all the areas in Playacar are as accessible. Right here, my friends, we have the entrance of Playacar that goes to Avenida 10 and to the famous Quinta Avenida. Over here, we have Paseo del Carmen Mall, a gorgeous open-air commercial plaza. Now, within the Playacar neighborhood, we have about 3 different commercial plazas as well. And over here, we have one of the Playacar accesses. This is for owners only. And here we have tenant and owner access, tenant and owner access. Overall, we have 4 different entry points, and there's another entry over here. So in terms of accessibility, this location is super amazing. Okay, let's continue. I'm not going to read what this says, but again, more about the concept of Riviera Maya. My friends, if any of you have actually seen the Awa complex in Playacar, I'm sure you have been left, as they say in Spanish, boca abierta, with your mouth open. It's as spectacular as this pictures show, and you really have to see it. Again, I'm going to link to the video of the existing complex, And this developer is known to deliver very similar to what the renders show. So you can expect marble floors, amazing amenities, a pool that looks in that color. It's just something else. I'll go over the amenities that this new project will have. The expected delivery for this project is November of 2027. So that gives those of you who need to get your funding together some time. I'm going to go into the payment scheme and so on a bit later. Again, I know the text is too small to go over. Let's continue. They talk about the fact that there is a golf course running through in the middle of the Playacar neighborhood. As its sister project, this project will also have an on-site gym, which is really appreciated. And I want to tell you that the gym inside the existing Our Residences project is a sizable gym. It's really beautiful. I would say state of the art. In addition to that, there's an on-site spa with a sauna, multiple pools. There's a kids club. All those amenities are going to be present in the new AWA as well. The main difference that I see between the two projects is the unit size, and I'll go into that in a second. And I think this particular project fills a gap in the marketplace. And again, I'll explain to you in a second why once we get into the unit sizes. But once again, in terms of the amenities, and I don't know how much you guys can see there, so I'll read it for you. Albercas means pools, gym. They're going to have 24/7 security, and we're talking in-person check-in. To get into the complex, you're going to need to go through security. In addition to that, once again, Playacar as a neighborhood has a secure access point. So it's not like anybody off the street can enter Playacar. You have to be either a resident or like you have to be a tenant or an owner to be able to enter Playacar. Or if you're a supplier, you need to have a special tag. So it's a controlled access neighborhood. So that gives people that sense of security. I personally was quite surprised to see children walking by themselves within Playacar. I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And expat kids, in terms of the population of Playacar, we definitely have a combination of expat and local Mexican families. Wellness spa, there's going to be a co-working space in here, parking, there's going to be a playground for kids, lobby. Obviously the lobby in the existing Playacar Our Residences complex is spectacular, and I expect this new lobby to be equally amazing. Gardens and pet park and ludoteca, that means like kids play area. Okay, again, more renders. Okay, yeah, some of the renders of the interiors. Now, I will mention the units do not come furnished. However, in the case of the previous complex, which again has already been sold out and delivered, the developer made available some gorgeous furniture packages. So that will be left to your discretion as a buyer should you want to take advantage of those. They certainly had amazing interior designers, and the furniture packages that were provided were absolutely beautiful. So one amazing feature of this project, similar to their other one, is that all of the units will be facing towards these gorgeous common areas. However, how the project is designed is that plenty of room is left. Like the pool will be a good size so that you're not exactly looking into other people's units. There's plenty of space, plenty of privacy, and yet you have a controlled view and a lot of tranquility. You're not facing towards any kind of noisy street. You're facing towards this controlled, beautiful environment. Very zen, very beautiful. Okay, I guess this is a render of the lobby. I'm gonna go into a few more renders shortly. Okay, let's go into, I'm gonna remove this and share. And thanks everyone for joining, whether you're watching this live or after the fact. Thank you. Share screen, give me a second. How do I do this? Always a joy. Thanks for the likes, I appreciate it. Da-da-da. Okay, all right. So they give us access to this. I'm gonna go into a few more renders because I do think this is gonna be absolutely beautiful. Hopefully you guys can see this. They talk about the location again. As you can see, this is the existing AWA project, and this is going to be AWA legacy, my friends. And yes, there's a church. Well, it's inside a Grace Church. It is an English-speaking church in Playa. As you can see right here, we have Costa Med, that's a private hospital. In terms of the location, diagonally across the street here, next to the other Playacar entrance, we have a big shopping plaza called Centro Maya. Over there, we have a big Soriana grocery store. Across the street, we have a Sam's Club. So in terms of doing your groceries, that's a short taxi ride away or a 5-minute drive, really super, super close. And again, you're also close to town where there's lots of other there are other shopping options. Okay, looking again at the renders, one thing that the existing Awa complex has are very large spacious balconies. Looks like they're planning on continuing that tradition. Now I'm not sure which of the unit types these are. We're gonna have a look. And Lux is the marketing arm of this developer. They specialize in delivering to market very upscale luxury projects such as this one. So that's one of the floor plans. And yeah, so I might as well get into the unit types. So traditionally in this Playacar neighborhood so far, and this is the Playacar neighborhood in Playa is one of the most established neighborhoods. I would say about upwards of 25 years when the neighborhood was created. Initially, it was all villas, and then we had some condo buildings come to market. In those days, it was primarily snowbirds that would come to Playa, and also, let's be realistic, wealthy Mexican families who wanted to have a second home. Who doesn't want to have a beach house or a beach condo? So, well, I think a lot of people do. So, as a matter of fact, so that was kind of the mix of units. So we had a lot of 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom units and villas, and that continues to be a great part of the inventory. However, what we're seeing in recent years, pretty much since 2020 onwards, we now have this new phenomenon of the digital nomads, and now we have a lot of younger people coming to destinations such as Playa del Carmen, people who have the ability to work from home, young professionals, and the a lot of these young professionals are either single or they're part of a couple, so they don't necessarily need a full 2-bedroom or even a 3-bedroom. They don't need such larger units. 1-bedrooms do fit the needs of this marketplace. Now, whereas in Playa Central, we've seen a lot of 1-bedrooms or an increasing number of 1-bedrooms coming to market. Also, a lot of tiny studios that, sincerely, I'm not a huge fan of, but they do cater to a certain clientele, primarily the vacational short-term stay. These are renders, obviously. I do trust their level of delivery because I have seen what these guys can deliver. Each of the bedrooms will have views depending on the unit type and the view. Again, the living room area will face towards the gorgeous common areas. Da da da. Okay, this is obviously a render, I'd like to say, of a penthouse unit, although it might be of some of the common areas because it looks like a larger terrace. Yeah, common areas. I think this is a render of the lobby. Very modern, very neat and clean. I'm sure it will be jaw-dropping once it's delivered. Another render. Yeah, I like the curved look of this. I had another developer tell me that there is a reason to this as well, not just because of the way the lot was, although that I'm sure helped, but in terms of some of the weather events that we may have in this area. There is a hurricane season in this tropical area. Thankfully, in my almost 5 years of living here, I have been spared any severe weather events, thankfully. But it helps when you have like curved angles as opposed to straight lines. That is a very neat feature that you can have in a building. That kind of helps the wind just pass through with absolutely minimum effects. Okay, more renders. Oh my goodness. I'm sure it's going to be just amazing, my friends. Look at this. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, this building is one of the few new buildings and one of the few buildings that I'm aware of in Playacar that will offer primarily a 1-bedroom inventory. Now, they do have a number of 2-bedroom lofts as well as these gorgeous 1-bedroom penthouse units, which again, they are definitely popular with a certain clientele, especially as I have seen the gentlemen like those units. Why not? They're amazing for entertainment. Who doesn't want to have a private terrace? Well, we'll get into that in a little bit. Okay, so And so I've shown you guys the renders. I might as well, I could tell you a little bit about the developer. I think it'd be worthwhile knowing. I've already told you about their most recent residential development, which was our residences, or our residence, I think it's called. They've done a lot of commercial plazas as well, including a plaza within Playacar Center, shopping center within Playacar, and our residences. It's called, yeah, our Playacar residences. I've called this project anything, but yeah, they have some projects coming up or already delivered in Tulum. They have this tower coming up in Cancun. Well, actually, this one is sold out, as you can see. This project in Tulum almost completely sold out. And for those of you who already know Playa and you know our famous Calle 38, where we have all these gorgeous restaurants and that beautiful intimate atmosphere, this developer also delivered the Via 38 condo, which is located on the corner of Calle 38 with Fifth Avenue. It's a sizable luxury project. This was delivered a number of years ago, so that was kind of a sample of what they can do. But again, the most recent sample right now, and there's more commercial plazas. Okay, that's the Playacar Plaza. This one is located close to where all the hotels are. I don't even know where this is, my friends. Another commercial plaza. Anyway, you get it. They built a Hampton Inn. So they're a very serious developer. Very serious developer. Hello, oh, what's happening with my English? Okay, let's get, my friends, into the prices. We might as well. And I must say, I was pleasantly surprised because for this price point in Playa Central these days, you can expect to find a studio unit. And some clients may really want to be in Playa Central. What the Playacar neighborhood offers is that tranquility, that peacefulness, almost no traffic. And again, because of the orientation of the units, you are you should have quite a bit of tranquility, and not to mention that the Playacar neighborhood is primarily residential, my friends, with the exception of a handful of small commercial plazas. Okay, and again, looking at the prices, my friends, we have one bedroom units, and they're not small. They're about, look at that, total surface 59 square meters. Oh, I don't have my calculator. Give me 1 second. Oh, they actually were kind enough to translate it into square feet. So anywhere from 630 square feet to 697. You can see what the prices are, anywhere from 215K USD to 228. I mean, honestly, I feel like this is a very reasonable price point for what you're getting, for this standard of project, for this size of unit, for the fact that we don't have a lot of one bedrooms in Playacar. There are a couple of new projects. However, having seen the finishings in these other projects, which I'm not going to name at the moment, I know what you're getting here, and I know that this will be another jaw-dropping project that will. Anyway, you get it. I don't know what more I can say. It's absolutely spectacular. And once again, I mentioned there are a handful. Well, not just a handful. They have a few more, depending on which building you're in, because um, there are 4 buildings, but they're essentially right next to each other, and they all have a projected delivery date. Oh, I see. I see. So some have a delivery date of November 2027, and some have a delivery date of February 27. So that's why this building sold first. And as you can see in the first building, delivery February of 2027. So that's coming up very soon. Well, about a year and a half from now. Okay. We have some penthouse units left, and then November 2027, we still have quite a bit of inventory. And I'll get into the price structure or pricing options, because I think that's something else very interesting for this project. Okay, my friends. As you can see, some good entry-level pricing for for the one-bedroom penthouse units. These are almost 100 square meters. Just to give you an idea, my friends, a unit like this in downtown Playa, in a building like Ipana, many of you would be very familiar with the Ipana project. It's located right in the heart of Playa. It also offers many, you can say, similar amenities, although quite a different style. Yeah, those one bedrooms will run you around 400K. One bedroom penthouses in that building will run you around 400K. So for you to be able to get a similar standard of unit in a building such a desirable building for as low as 268K USD. And by the way, that's the price, and I'll get into again the prices shortly, but that's the price without any discounts. That's the price with a 30% down payment, and you as a client paying the 70% upon delivery. That 70% can come from a mortgage, okay? If you are in a position to put down a higher down payment, I'm making this larger just in case people can't see it. But again, I'm pretty impressed with this starting prices. That's why I'm telling you about this project, because I like to tell my clients about projects that I think are worthwhile. I have access to the entire marketplace here, so especially if I'm going to be talking about a new project, I want to know that it's a project that makes sense to buy in pre-construction, that it is from a serious developer that has a long track history of deliveries. As you can see, sorry about all the uhs. Ever since I'm back in Toastmasters, I've become aware of my filler words. Okay, so there you go, my friends. We do have some two-level garden suites. These are two-bedroom units, decent size for a two-bedroom. Again, 80 square meters, 867. You have one bedroom on the ground floor, one bedroom on the in the loft, so you have a double height. Again, attractive starting price point for a two-bedroom of this standard in the Playacar neighborhood. Competing projects, well, they really can compete in terms of either price point or finishings. Okay, quite frankly, mis amigos. Okay, and then we have the final building here where they have quite a few more of these garden suite apartments left. In their original Our Residences project, this unit type was extremely popular. And just to give you an idea, my friends, as of now, some units in the existing Our Residences project come up for resale, and you can expect to pay around 500,000. Now, those unit for a unit of this style, a two-level garden house, as they call them, so you can see the advantage you have by buying in pre-construction. That being said, my friends, the existing Our Residences units are larger than these ones. In general, those unit sizes were larger. Even though there are some one bedrooms in there, they are also larger. And but then that commands a higher price point. So it really depends on the client. Do they want more space, and do they have the budget to pay that premium? First of all, to get a unit that is move-in ready versus waiting 2 years. Okay, and if a client is in a position to get a move-in ready unit, start generating income right away, if it's their desire to rent it, that's a good option. Alternatively, I think I find this pricing very, very attractive for what is being offered. Now over here you can see unit type, and I'm gonna so you get an idea, my friends. One bedroom starting at 215, two bedrooms, my friends, starting as low as 339 in pre-construction for this gorgeous project. Okay, let me show you the floor plan so you have an idea of what you're looking at. And planos por unidad. So for example, I noticed that for the one bedroom units, they have, this was a popular, like they have quite a few of these units left. This is what they look like. So again, a little bit kind of curved because they're facing towards the common areas. So you come in, hopefully you guys can see this. You come in, you have your, oh, how do I do this? Oh, I don't know how to lower this. Okay. Entry over here, bedroom, bathroom, and you have two, looks like you have two doors into the bathroom. And oh, somewhere here, I think over here you have a washer dryer, as far as I can tell. Kitchen here, again, yeah, washer dryer, large kitchen bar, dining table here, or at least it's designed to be that like that. Living room, and again, you have a beautiful sizable terrace facing towards those beautiful common areas. Okay, and then looking at to give an idea, the penthouse units, penthouse, one bedroom penthouse. Let's have a look at this one, for example, T41. I noticed they had a few of those. Oh, I know this is not easy to read. All right, maybe down here in the corner. Oh man, yeah, not very easy to read these architectural drawings. Let me see if I can figure this out. No, this is a loft of some kind. Okay, forgive me for that. Well, okay, looks like you have, okay. Oh, yeah, no. don't trust me with the architectural drawings. We'll have to have a closer look together. If any of you are interested, especially in the penthouse units, we can look. I do want to show you the 2-level, 2-bedroom units. Oh, that wasn't the correct one. Give me a second. Yes, 2-bedroom unit type. So again, this was very popular and I saw they have quite a few of these T11. Okay, so this is what you can expect here. Oh, can I make this bigger? Yes, okay. Okay, so I noticed they had a few of these left. So over here you have almost an identical setup to the 1-bedroom design, except behind the bathroom you have some stairs taking you to the 2nd bedroom, and the 2nd bedroom is a loft style 2-bedroom that will have a wooden door that slides open and it could close for privacy, and it comes with a 2nd bathroom here. And what you see here in the X, this is a double height space, so it looks very palatial and quite impressive, I must say. Again, the difference between this project and the other one, they did make the unit sizes here. In the other project, the unit size was about 100, upwards of 100 square meters. For this type of unit here, they're about 80 square meters. Still a good unit size for a 2-bedroom. And again, having this double height gives you that sensation of spaciousness. So I also find these unit types very desirable. And other than their sister project within Playacar and in Playa in general, we don't have a lot of these 2-level loft style units, and they are definitely desirable. Clients love them. It just, you feel VIP being in one of these units. So with that said, my friends, I think I've covered quite about enough. Oh, I promised I was going to show you the pricing plans. So yeah, under prices. Okay, payment scheme. Okay, as mentioned with these guys, they are one of the projects in Playa to offer 30/70 payment scheme. So that means that after reserving the unit, within 2 weeks, you would put down a 30% down payment, and you have up until November of 2027 or February of 2027 to come up with a 70%. That potentially would allow you to use a mortgage, whether back in the US, Canada, wherever you're from, or here in Mexico. We do have a few institutions that lend money in Mexico to Canadians, Americans, and other world citizens to buy properties in Mexico. Okay. The other option, again, if you are in a position to put down a higher down payment, in this case 50% down payment, 50% of delivery, you would qualify for a 3% discount. And again, the higher the down payment in the most attractive payment plan, if you put down 90%, you could qualify for an 8% discount. So those of you who maybe just sold a property and have access to capital and are in a position to do that, imagine, I don't have my calculator ready, but 10% off 215 is about 21,000. So 8%, okay, and 18,000. Okay, so you can get a significant discount. Okay, my friends, I think that's about it here. How do I gotta figure out to stop sharing now. Where am I? Okay, bear with me for a second. Thanks for staying with me. Yeah, so excited to share all this with you. And oh, what did I do here? I was gonna put my contact info again. Bear with me, my friends. Because I did something. I removed something that I wasn't supposed to remove. Okay. Ah, technology. I'm doing what I can. Thank you for your patience. Okay. How do I do this? Well, my friends, I'm just going to tell you, you know where to reach me. I'll have my contact info in the description. Info@freedomplaya.com is a good way to reach me. And again, I'll have my WhatsApp info in the description. If you want, you can DM me on Facebook, but just give me a few days on Facebook. I only check every few days, okay? But my emails, I do check daily, info@freedomplaya.com. Thank you, mis amigos. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your week. See you soon for another edition of the Freedom Playa Real Estate webinar. and I will be uploading more videos to my Facebook, to my YouTube. Thank you for your patience on that. Okay, take care, mis amigos. Bye for now.